Whenever he does get around to playing Baldur's Gate 3, I'm so interested to see what he has to say because I really think he's going to resonate with the way I feel about it. This is not the game I expected it to be because it's not even like Divinity Original Sin or Divinity Original Sin 2. It's beyond anything I've ever experienced. It's wild. Hold up a second. This seems worth reacting to. This was a month ago? I never saw this. Why I bought Baldur's Gate 3 even though I'm not going to play it.
Hi guys, it's me again, and today I want to talk to you all about why I'm buying Baldur's Gate 3 despite not having a lot of interest in playing it. Now, it might change, however, I might try it out. I mean, shit, I already have the game, right? But anyway, this is going to be, and I know this is going to be a surprise, this is going to be a positive video about gaming in the year 2023. We don't get a lot of those. But every once in a while, you have your North Stars, you have your guiding lights, well, in this case, your guiding moonlights, such as From Software.
So even though he doesn't care to play this kind of game represents how game development should be done. So he's buying a copy to vote this is a good game.
And now Larian Studios showing the rest of the industry how it's done. Much to the dismay of the rest of the industry, if you read Twitter, by the way. And the reason why, and there's a lot of reasons, obviously Baldur's Gate has been developed for, I think, the better part of 10 years now. It might have even been longer than that. I think the last one came out long enough for me to see it in a thrift shop 10 years ago. So it's been a long time coming. And there's 172, I think, hours of cutscenes in the game, infinite possibilities, D&D rule set, etc., and bear sex as well. Very exciting.
Hell yeah.
The reason why, however, is none of those. It's, kind of I talked about before, the, what's the word for it? The mining canary problems. Well, this is what the opposite is. Let's go ahead and read this here, okay? Are there any, this is a question that was sent to the developers, Larian Studios of Baldur's Gate 3, asking about in-game purchases. Are there any in-game purchases in Baldur's Gate 3? They respond. They say this. No. All right, no, great. No, there will be no in-game purchases in our game. We believe in providing a complete and immersive gaming experience without the need for additional purchases. Enjoy the game to its fullest without any additional costs or microtransactions.
Which is why it's worth every dollar you spend. Because you just get the game. And you can replay it multiple times, and it feels different.
I think, guys, we don't get a lot of those nowadays, you know?
You don't get any of those nowadays, which is why I speak so passionately about it, because it transcends the fact that it's just a good game. It's about what it means about the gaming industry as a whole. You don't see games like this anymore. It's a nostalgic trip just to put it in your cart and purchase it. Baldur's Gate 3, yeah. This is like a month-old video that I'm reacting to, but I didn't see that he had done this. He bought Baldur's Gate 3, even though he probably won't play it. It's not a game that he cares to play, but he's voting with his dollar, effectively.
Oh, it's been a while since we've been able to hear this, and it's nice to hear it again. And we had the same thing with Elden Ring, and every once in a while games come out, and they're able to actually be for gamers first. And I understand that this has got a lot of people on Twitter upset, especially people that work at other gaming studios, because they're afraid of being held to the same standard. Now, I think that everybody can generally understand.
Oh no. People are gonna get paid less, but have to work harder? Oh no.
Why a live service game that's continuous.
Meanwhile, someone was calling out on Reddit about how Starfield in the credits refers to 27 external studios, ranging from places all over the world, including the Ukraine, Vietnam, India, etc. I mean, they probably outsource some of the work at Larian Studios too. If they didn't, I commend them. But I feel like you sometimes have to outsource things. It's understandable. What I've heard from players of Starfield is that everything is so disconnected. It seems like it was put together by multiple different studios.
Updated, etc., would need maybe some form of microtransactions to keep development funded, right? Yeah, sure. But we're talking about a single player game that's being released as a complete experience, as a love letter to the community, and really as an investment in what their brand has been for, I mean, what, Baldur's Gate, was it 30, 20, at least 30 years? It's insane how long these games have been around. And I really, really appreciate this. And I think that nowadays there are so many, like, you know, the new game comes out.
To be fair, Larian Studios only stepped in, like, as far as I know, in the last couple of years. Before that, it was like Beam Drive or something, the old developer. I forget. I don't know if I'll ever play those older Baldur's Gate games, just because the things I said before, it's not the kind of game that I would actually care to play. But the way in which Larian designed their systems for Divinity Original Sin 2, I knew it would be playable enough for me that I would enjoy the top-down view experience, and I was pleasantly surprised. The quality of the acting, how often you get to see your character up close in high detail, and the environments in high detail. It's not even close to other games in the genre.
And everybody's excited, and it's like, you know, you have this video game paradox that we have nowadays, this inverse correlation where the less you know about a game, the more excited you are, and then after you learn more, especially after the monetization talks, people become less excited. Oh, there's going to be a battle pass. Oh, there's going to be a seasonal battle pass. Oh, there's going to be skips for the battle pass that you can spend money on. Oh, the battle pass is going to increase your character's power. Oh, how...
That's the worst kind of battle pass. Cosmetic ones, annoying as hell, because then cosmetics for your character or whatever in game when you don't pay tend to be shittier than people who do pay, but it's cosmetic. But if it affects your power in the game, especially competitively, that is the ultimate kick in the balls. That is the ultimate, like, I'm not going to play your game because I only wanted to buy the game. I don't want to buy winning the game.
Lovely. What a great game. I can't wait to spend 200 hours farming knickknacks in the game. Oh, I click one thing, one of 253, collect them all because we love to waste your time. There are many games that are like this, and as a compulsive fucking idiot, I usually play into at least a lot of the collection metas.
I find the old Assassin's Creed games were really good, but ever since, it was probably sometime after Assassin's Creed 3, they started doing all this open world, like, collect this, collect that, and it's just bloat to make you seem like there's more gameplay, it's artificial value, and now I have one of those, or two of those Explorer games. I think I have Odyssey and one other one, and I just couldn't get through it because there was so much, like, on the map. Go get this, go get that. I'm like, where's the, like, main story? Just let me play that. But then I think I hit a point when I wasn't able to progress because I hadn't leveled enough or something. It's been too long, but all I know is that I enjoyed the original Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 2 was by far my favorite. Assassin's Creed 3, pretty damn good as well. After that, it really started to fall off. Now it's just like hype, and I think Ubisoft has lost a lot of respect from gamers. Like, when you think about a Ubisoft game, it's not exciting the way it used to be.
However, many other people don't, and I think a lot of people appreciate a game that respects their time, and I think more and more, especially as money is...
I'm just seeing the mention of Black Flag. I played a little bit of Black Flag as well, and that's fine, but they lost a lot of credit. They lost a lot of street cred from gamers when they did that whole Xbox gets an exclusive mission, PlayStation gets an exclusive mission. Like, why are you doing exclusive content for certain consoles over others? That's dumb.
He's gotten tight. People respect a game that respects their money too. And that's why I'm supporting Larian Games, that's why I'm supporting Baldur's Gate 3. I'll be honest, outside of Honkai Star Rail, which by the way is not a very good example of what I'm talking about, I've never really played on a turn-based game.
I haven't played Honkai Star Rail. it's not even close to what Baldur's Gate 3 has to offer. And when you say turn-based game, it makes it sound like the whole game is taken in turns, but it's just the combat. And like real-time combat with the kind of spells that you have available in Dungeons and Dragons, it just wouldn't make sense. You would only have to like use offensive stuff. It would turn into like PoE. But there are certain spells that you want to use, and you need to have things slow to a standstill, or else you'll never be able to pull off anything cool that you can pull off in Dungeons and Dragons.
The last one I played was Super Mario RPG. Came out, I don't know, like maybe 25 years ago. So it's been a while since I've actually played any turn-based games. They're not necessarily super appealing to me, but I might actually give it a shot with Baldur's Gate because of how much I believe in what their vision is. They're willing to, take pay cuts. They're not trying to appease a, board of shareholders who, many of the people who are making important decisions are not even really sure what Baldur's Gate is entirely. They don't really understand it. They never played any of the other previous games.
Almost everyone I've ever seen play a wizard has failed at playing a wizard. Well, and that's just it. Can you imagine real-time combat, D&D wizard, trying to figure out what spell to cast in what exact moment and to like hit a moving target that's like actively, like, it just wouldn't work.
They're not really video gamers, maybe they play Candy Crush. This is very upsetting for a lot of gamers, and it should be. It's very worrying. But the reason why this is important, and the reason why I want to support it, is because of the very simple truth of the free market. And this is one of the luckiest and also simultaneously unluckiest things that we have to deal with as gamers. I think that a lot of gamers nowadays, especially in the last 10 years, have come to the slow, sinking realization that the problems with monetization that us more hardcore gamers have don't necessarily resonate in the minds of the casual player base. Very disappointing.
And there was discussion about this the other day. Because gaming has become more mainstream, people who would partake in other activities besides gaming, for example, going to the club, do a cost-benefit analysis of going to the club and spending $1,000 on bottle service and shots and with like getting a booth and blah blah blah, or buying a game for $100 or more if you buy microtransactions, whatever. In their mind, spending less money, saving. But for the average gamer who's only making comparisons with other games, worse. So the average Joe stepping in and not having any sense of the landscape of gaming as a whole is polluting customer expectations.
Very upsetting, but FIFA's Ultimate Team seems to sell out every single year.
Oh my god.
But the truth is that
FIFA's Ultimate Team, NHL Ultimate Team, yeah, people sink mad money into that stuff for artificial value when, like, NHL games used to be really good. It didn't focus so much on these like virtual trading cards.
Whenever you're able to support a game that doesn't do this, whether it's something like Vampire Survivors, whether it's Armored Core 6, whether it was Elden Ring, whether it was Dark Souls, Sekiro, Baldur's Gate, Halls of Torment, plenty of based indie developers, by the way. If you're looking for integrity, ingenuity, creativity, there has never been a better time for indie gaming than right now. But we're talking about Larian, obviously, which is not a AAA studio. It is, however, a AA studio. And what I mean by the free market is that we can choose as gamers to support games that adhere to policies and practices that we find to be fulfilling and things that we truly enjoy. The biggest problem that gaming has is that people love to complain about games, but they also love to play them. And I understand that I think we all do this sometimes, right? Oh, you play a game that you hate? Yeah, who doesn't? But I think it gets a little bit too serious. Sometimes it happens too often. And I think in some cases, it's okay to play a game that you love as well. And especially...
And that's how a lot of people feel about things like Starfield. Okay, you love Bethesda, you're enjoying the game, you're having fun, good for you. But do you understand what's possible in the current landscape with the technology we have at our disposal, with the budgets Bethesda has at their disposal? Do you not see how they're bending you over backwards and you?
Especially if you want to give a vote of confidence to people who are actually trying to improve the genre, improve the industry, and improve the space. And that's one of the biggest and most important things I've found just in general with gaming, because as soon as one person or one group sees success with something, other groups will try to emulate and do the exact same thing, because they also want to make money and they want to capitalize on that group. And my goal is to make sure that people realize that that group exists. I dream of a day that you can just buy a video game and that's all you have to do. I've played many pay-to-win games, and I don't really. It's not the.
It's unfortunate because I kind of wish World of Warcraft was like that. But I also understand at the time, like in the heyday, why this subscription fee was necessary for like the moderation, the game masters, stuff like that. But eventually it reached a point where it really felt like you didn't have to do that. If you were just working on continuous content enough and charged the right fees, you could just make money on the expansions and not charge a monthly fee. But they charge you for the expansion, they charge you the monthly fee, they try to sell you the deluxe edition, they have the store where you can buy boosts and better cosmetics and exclusive pets and bruh, so out of hand. And then you think about things like Battlefront 2, when they release this really cool Star Wars game based on the first one, which was done really well, and then they pay gate effectively, like being able to play some of your favorite characters from Star Wars.
End of the world to me, and as a streamer I kind of do things for content, etc., but it's not really something I'm going to invest my time into on a personal level. I'm not going to go and play something like this off stream all the time unless I really like it, or
Whenever he does get around to playing Baldur's Gate 3, I'm so interested to see what he has to say, because I really think he's going to resonate with the way I feel about it, where this is not the game I expected it to be, because it's not even like Divinity Original Sin or Divinity Original Sin 2. It's beyond anything I've ever experienced. It's wild.
There's some other reason. In general, I don't really like a lot of this stuff, because there's no sense of satisfaction. There's no sense of accomplishment. There's no sense of meaning whenever somebody else can leapfrog you just by spending more money. There's no sense of
yeah, why even play the game if someone can just leapfrog you for being more wealthy than you are? Or it's not even necessarily about someone being more wealthy, but having a willingness to spend their money on leapfrogging you rather than just enjoying the game for what it is. Thanks to Baldur's Gate 3, turn-by-turn games are about to be brought to generational standards. Yeah, that's what pulled me from WoW. Oh, all the microtransactions? Yeah, it's insane. It's overwhelming. And they even put the WoW token in Classic WoW, which says a lot. Why did you have to do that? Oh, because you're aware that gold trading is a thing, so you want a cut of that money by allowing gold traders to continue the process that they do, but now you're getting a cut of it. Monthly fee after paying for the game, then each pack costs money, and my friends were busy being blood elves. True. I could be playing any game ever made and have played nearly every MMORPG, but I still find WoW Classic to be the most fun. Hello, Classic Andy. Welcome. It's rude to call people Classic Andy. I enjoy many games. Classic WoW is obviously where I'm more comfortable. I know exactly where I'm going. I know what I have to do in terms of like a general progression, like this zone, then this zone, then this zone, at least as an alliance player. I know what my options are. I know what's kind of next. I know what to expect. I know how to play the aggro. I know which mobs are dangerous, which ones, like what areas to avoid, those kinds of things. I mean, I've definitely been thinking over the last few days, do I want to try and do hardcore Classic WoW? But then I have to spend money. I don't really want to do that. And it goes beyond like, oh, I don't want to support Blizzard. It's not that. I just don't want to empty my wallet because my wallet's already close to being empty. There's bills to pay. So when I think about doing something like Classic WoW, why am I going to spend $15 a month so that I can be stressed out about dying about every mob I face? It's just a constant minus 15 every month. Actually, it's not even minus 15. What is it? But I'm in Europe now, so I have to buy euro. It's like 18 euros a month or something crazy. Ugh. I'd rather have a fun adventure that I don't have to pay every month for. And that's what Baldur's Gate 3 is. Truth be told, I am in effect a classic Andy. Takes one to know one would be your retort to me. That's all I've really done effectively. Whenever I played Shadowlands, whenever I played Dragonflight, I was like, this kind of sucks. I mean, there's voice acting now, so that's kind of neat, but there's so many things happening, and I don't know how to use all of these, like, trading post currency, collecting battle pets, like, getting all these achievements, and, like, how do I even raid? Now it's about item level. Can I do Battlegrounds? Oh, nobody plays Battlegrounds? Oh, okay. What do I do in this game? It's rough.
Of completeness whenever you look around the city and everybody else surrounded. Like, I understand cosmetics, it is what it is, right? It's a free-to-play game, that's the industry nowadays. I understand, but I also understand that I remember a day that you used to go into Stormwind, see somebody with Thunder Fury, and you used to be impressed by that.
Those were the days. Did someone say Thunder Fury?
I understand that obviously Classic WoW kind of shed a little bit of light on what an accomplishment that really is. However, I think that the illusion still could have existed back then, whereas now, nobody's even fooled. So, it's disappointing to see, and that's why whenever we see a game like Baldur's Gate 3 come out, I would urge people who are interested in games like this to check it out. I'm not saying buy it, I'm saying check it out. What you do with your money is your own fucking decision. But the truth is that that's what I'm going to do. And whenever I see games that are like this, I try to do my best to take that out to you guys and share these ideas and these games with you, because I feel like they are a positive force for the industry. They're a positive force for gaming as a whole. And they're also a positive force for us players, because these are games that, again, not only respect our time, but also respect our wallets.
I mean, that's the most important thing. Like, being able to maximize your dollar. And, I offer you my money, you give me a great product, you make more of the great product, I give you more of the money. But the dynamic has completely shifted so that it's like, oh no, we're a company that makes good stuff. Why? Because we said so, and people have said so in the past, and therefore, we're justified in asking you for a lot of money up front, regardless of what product we deliver you, because we promise we're going to make it better in the future. And then they don't make it better in the future. In the case of Bethesda, they rely on free labor to make the game actually good. Within a week of the game being out, the game now has a phenomenal UI because of the hard work of dedicated modders working for free to make things more playable. What about all the console players who are trying to enjoy that game who don't get to use mods?
But guys, shit is getting expensive. Things are
Yeah,
getting crazy expensive. And if people want to ask us $70 for a fucking game, they better not try to tack $20 on for it for another fucking outfit. It's crazy.
Or $90 for a base game, $140 for the base game, plus the second part of the game we haven't made yet.
And it's like, I get that sometimes, things are complicated, things are hard. Yeah, I get that. I understand, and everything is a value proposition, and everybody's computation with that, everybody's formula is a little bit different. But whenever we see somebody that doesn't do that, I think they deserve the respect of the community, and I think they deserve that acknowledgement, if nothing else. And so that's why I wanted to make this video. I wanted to share that, and I wanted to talk about something positive in gaming nowadays. And I'm probably going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here, so I apologize in advance.
Don't worry, we already did that.
I really think that in the last 5 years or so, indie games have shown just such tremendous promise and such tremendous...
Vampire Survivor for one, Hollow Cure for another. Hollow Cure, in the case of an indie developer that doesn't make any money, and actually made a good game. Maybe I should try that. But I'm really keen to like circle back and do some more Baldur's Gate 3 this evening, I think. I'm enjoying my Salami Ninja playthrough.
Tremendous enjoyment that I might have actually enjoyed more indie games in the last 3 to 5 years than I have AAA games, honestly. Between something like Hades, Vampire Survivors, Halls of Torment, something like Hollow Knight, I'm sure I can think of a dozen other ones if I just sit there and, like go over it. But those are the ones that come to mind. These are the games that I really enjoy playing, and they're games that don't try to have a 200-hour goal. They're not trying to have, 1,000 collectible MacGuffins. We don't need that. People just need a comprehensive, complete game that respects the player's time. And whenever I see that, I think it's amazing. And whenever I see it here, it's great. And I think that we're seeing it even more with a lot of these indie games.
You know what's sad is that things that just should be the norm are things that now impress us when we see it in a game. Because we're just like, whoa, it can be done. Amazing. And now Baldur's Gate 3 is receiving all this high praise for just doing what people should have been doing all along.
I understand that indie games are a bit of a mixed bag, and that's why, of course, you have reviews, you have people on YouTube, and you have Twitch. You can just watch what's going on. But nowadays, there are so many more tools. The distribution is so much more opened up. It's so much more of a free market. And I think it's been such a great time for gamers to be able to, step back from these AAA studios that seem to be, instead of too big to fail, they're too big to succeed. You have to develop a game 7 years in advance. Bro, 7 fucking years ago, I don't even think Fortnite was popular. Like, I'd have to do the math on that, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. So it's like, how can you develop a game that far into the future unless you have, like, either a core vision or something that is equivalent to that? But a lot of times, these games are just trying to do the exact same thing that movies are. Oh, great, now we have a new Spider-Man. Oh, great, now we have a new Transformers. Oh, great, that'll sell more toys for the new generation of kids, which I'm sure it's nice for them. But to be honest, I'd like to see some new content. And I feel the same way about games. Things are just continuously being remade, ideas are being rehashed, risks are being taken less, and I think that we have to look towards indie games to take...
Yeah, there's a real lack of innovation. That's certainly true. When it comes to the kind of games you see, that's why people make all these comparisons. I mean, again, Starfield is just the relevant example. But calling it like it's No Man's Sky, like it's Skyrim Space Edition, you can draw so many parallels from the games that you play. But the only thing that I could say about Baldur's Gate 3 is, oh, what games is it like? It's like Divinity Original Sin 2, but with 5e rules. But that's because the makers of Divinity Original Sin 2 made Baldur's Gate 3. That's why I draw that comparison, because the play style and the systems are very similar and ported over and then just reconfigured to match what you do in 5th edition for the most part. I always say with the caveat that obviously they had to flex some rules for the video game experience, but it does a damn good job. Like, really damn good job. Someone who's never played D&D before plays enough Baldur's Gate 3, they could figure out most of the way how to play D&D at a tabletop session and make very few minor adjustments with the help of their dungeon master.
Taking those risks and being that litmus test for these big companies to try to actually develop games that are innovative in a degree that, a lot of people haven't seen. And the truth is that I think indie games are doing that incredibly well. I think that they will continue to do that. And as technology evolves and people's ability to develop products evolves and games more quickly and with less resources and less teamwork and effort, it's going to be even more of a buyer's market. And we are the buyers. And we are so lucky to be in this place. So again, obviously indie games are doing great, but every once in a while we have a really big game like we had last year with Elden Ring, and we're getting this year with Baldur's Gate. And I want to make a video and really kind of give them a shout out for what they're doing, and I really appreciate it. And you know what? Maybe I might even play the game. So anyway, guys.
I hope he does. There's a couple times I've gone into the chat. I'm not simple. I don't go Baldur's Gate 3 when, but I'm just like, there's nothing like this game. I really hope you like it. And if you don't, I'm just sorry to hear that. I'm not going to hold it against you, even though I think you're wrong. No, I'm kidding. But when he plays it, I feel like it'll be so good. Because watching S-Fan play it is really good. I've caught him live on stream a couple times. And he's very emotionally invested in the decisions he makes. Like, he's trying to play according to his background of his character. It's wild.
That's about all I've got. I'd be curious if you have any games like that in your recommendations down in the comments. Maybe I might play some of them myself. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But, you know, I might think about playing some of them myself. And maybe some other people would as well. So, like, if you feel like there's a game that deserves this credit, a game that deserves this acknowledgement, I'd be really curious to hear it. But, yeah, anyway, guys, you know, W to Larian Studios. And Baldur's Gate 3 apparently comes out today or tomorrow, whenever. And no in-game purchases, no bullshit, no pay to win. It's just a fucking video game. And imagine that in the year 2023. That's about all I've got. So, I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Cool. Good video. Let me catch up here.